Hi there guys, so bizarrely Kubrat Pulev has explained that June 20 between him and Anthony Joshua is now off. This is what he had to say in a very bizarre statement in an interview. It is impossible for the fight to take place on June 20, although I am ready. The match will take place a few months later, perhaps towards the end of the year. So that's an odd statement from Kubrat Pulev because no announcements have been made, and considering Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin on May 2nd is still going ahead, that hasn't been postponed. And that is more than a month before that Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev fight. So if Joshua versus Pulev is going to be postponed, then Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin will be before that. So there is no way this fight has yet been postponed. So the fight will go ahead on June 20, provided things get better. So that fight is still penciled in. That fight is not cancelled, not postponed, nothing like that. Obviously, the British Boxing Board of Control have postponed all events in March and April, but no decision has been made for anything beyond that. So maybe Kubrat Pulev is using this as a little bit of a mind game to try and make Anthony Joshua sleep on him and think, oh, that guy's not going to be ready. That guy's not going to be preparing. Maybe we're not going to fight on June 20th. So maybe he's trying to create doubts in Anthony Joshua's mind. Or maybe he is just predicting that this virus will take away that June 20 date between him and Anthony Joshua. There is a great possibility that it could do, but that is not confirmed at the moment. Kubrat Pulev is clutching at straws, and he cannot be thinking that. He cannot be thinking that this fight is going to be postponed. Now is the time to be professional. Now is the time to get your head down, get the work done, get prepared for this fight because it will be happening on June 20 until he is told otherwise. So Kubrat Pulev cannot say, I don't think the fight's going to happen, so I'm not going to bother going that extra 10% in training because he is going to need to in with Anthony Joshua. So he cannot labour under the illusion that this fight is going to be postponed or cancelled. Obviously, he thinks the fight will be put back to later in the year, but that is not a guaranteed possibility. This fight will take place on June 20 or perhaps on July 25th if the Football League extends into that slot, because obviously Tottenham need to finish the league and they need their stadium in order to do that. So that would mean that Anthony Joshua could be put back in the event of that happening, but that would be only a month. Obviously, from 20th of June to July 25th. It's basically a month later. So that's not later on in the year. That's only a month after the previous announced date. So that would mean that Kubrat Pulev would still need to be in shape because that's only 4 weeks after the date he would have to be fighting Anthony Joshua. So I find it quite bizarre that Kubrat Pulev has come out and said this because he said, I am ready, but he doesn't believe the fight will happen on the date they have announced. Maybe it won't happen on that date, but if this fight is going to be postponed or cancelled or anything like that, moved back to later in the year, then you can expect Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin to be the first one to give you that indication. That one will be postponed, and then Derek Chisora versus Alexander Usyk will be the next one after that. And then, if that one is postponed or moved back, then you can kind of expect Kubrat Pulev versus Anthony Joshua to be moved back as well, because obviously the pandemic isn't slowing. So we have to wait and see what's going to happen with boxing in May before we go on to June, because there are two major boxing events in the heavyweight division in May that are still taking place. That is Alexander Usyk versus Derek Chisora and Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. Let's wait and see what happens with those two events first, because as I said, they will be the first ones to be moved or postponed, not Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev. That will come after that because that is boxing in June. And as far as we know, boxing in May is still going ahead until we are informed otherwise. Guys, this is just something that we have to take day by day, week by week, month by month. It's just going to be like that for the next couple of weeks and a couple of months. We will just have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Kubrat Pulev's bizarre comments that Kubrat Pulev's fight with Anthony Joshua will be postponed and moved further back in the year. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click your thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.